Hey Rebel Scum, happy holidays and welcome to the Rebel Scum Rewind Holiday Edition. I thought what better way to finish our year than to look at all the various Hasbro holiday figures throughout the years, starting with where the line began and where we are currently. So just a quick disclaimer, as I always like to throw at the beginning of these sets, we're going to be focusing on Hasbro, so I'm not going to be doing the dozens of Disney Droid holiday editions that are out there, just strictly Hasbro figures and what has been in the lines since the beginning. As always, I might have missed some. I don't think I did because I was pretty adamant about collecting all the holiday figures. So we had a couple in a three and 3/4 line, and then we had a really big jump until we got into the Black Series ones. So I'll be going through all of these, how you could have got these at the time, where they were exclusive to, what they are based on, and where the line may be going. I don't know. We'll talk about that as well. But we're going to start, and I'm going to bring you guys in close to check all these out. I got all the original packaging, so we should be able to look at that closely too. So we'll come in nice and close. We're going to focus on these great figures, starting with the 3 and 3/4 lines. We're going to go all the way back to 2002. Okay, so starting in 2002, from the Saga collection, we have the Holiday Edition R2-D2 and C-3PO. So they came in this nice little bubble. You'll see this is kind of consistent for the holiday packaging at the time. So we'll pop these guys out. They have a nice little background here of this fireplace. That wasn't meant to be anything you display it with. It just kind of came included. What they did have here is this nice little stand, and you can see the little carpet there, a nice little holiday theme to it. And then our characters kind of popped out here. And we had our C-3PO, would sit up over here on the little pegs. And you can see him in this great little Santa outfit with the beard hanging off of him. He's got his hat on and everything. And then you got that R2-D2, and he has his antlers on here. There are little pegs for R2 here, so he can hold in place as well. And I thought this was a really nice display set. And you get that nice chrome on there, you get the vacuum form on C-3PO. And it came with one little bonus accessory. And it's kind of consistent on where this is from, and it came with this little Christmas card. Now this Christmas card is Ralph McQuarrie artwork, so that's what the figure is based on actually, his little artwork for a Christmas concept. So that was kind of something consistent you see with a bunch of them. There were these great little artworks that came with the figures, as well as the awesome figures, all based on that McQuarrie scene, and that's what the figures are mimicking. So I really like this one. I think it displays great. Hopefully Hasbro will capture it again in the 6-inch line. But yeah, all the Christmas figures back then came with these nice little Christmas cards. I didn't use them because they're amazing. I don't want to lose this nice little background. So they're just kind of a nice way to display it as well. So that was the C-3PO and R2-D2 set. So we're going to move forward to 2003, and we have Holiday Edition Yoda. Holiday Edition Yoda here was made a couple times over from different figures. There was a jumbo version of him as well. And what we get here is this great little Santa Yoda, basically. He comes with this base. A little tricky to get this out. He comes with this base here. As you can see, it's a little snow base. He's got a little block, a little ball, and he has his only real accessory here is this bag that he could hold in his hand. And it actually fits in the character here. And he's dressed in his Santa outfit. So this is a completely newly molded Yoda with his little cane and his little satchel with a bunch of gifts in there. So it's pretty awesome. I think they did a great job with this guy. And he has little peg holes for his feet. And you just kind of put him in there and have him in that scene that you'll see in just a second, because guess what? Yes, this one also comes with a card of Santa Yoda, and again, this is based on the McQuarrie artwork. So you got another nice little McQuarrie figure with the artwork there for the card. And again, like I said, it was that bubble packaging that was kind of consistent for them at the time. But you got these two great figures, or sets of figures here from the Saga line. You got the Yoda, you have the R2-D2, and you have the C-3PO, all based on that McQuarrie artwork. All right, so that was Saga. We're going to fast forward to the original trilogy collection and check out our next holiday figure. Moving forward to 2004, we have our original trilogy collection Holiday Edition Jawas. This is another amazing set. Again, in that bubble in the display here. In a nice little background. I'll see if I can give you a better shot of that. With the Jawas there around their, you can see the edge of the sandcrawler with some lights strung up. So this is a fun one. Jawas are kind of little merchants. So they have them dealing in presents here, and I'll show you how this looks in just a second as I get all these guys put on the base here. So the base is just some presents and some sand, and you essentially just stick these Jawas in here, and they kind of fit nicely. What I like about this guy here is he has the little training module for Luke, the remote there, and then he has this guy has a gift. So these are newly tooled Jawas as well, with the arms kind of reaching around to get the presents, and the eyes light up green and red instead of yellow. You could just see the red here and the green paneling at the top. Again, very Christmas themed, right on par for the season. And again, it comes with a Christmas card. So again, these guys are based on the Macquarie artwork, and you can see all the nice little presents you got there with the figures. And yeah, it looks really, really sharp. Really think they did a great job with that one. All of these were also exclusives. I believe some of these were either shop exclusives on StarWarsShop.com, like the next one I'm going to show you. Some of them were more widely available. I cannot recall this one and the previous two I've shown you. These might have been a wider release, but this was one of my favorite sets just because of the tooling here with the training module, and then you have this great background as well. So we're going to move forward one more year this time to 2005. We're still in the original trilogy collection, and we have our holiday Darth Vader. Now, this one was a Star Wars Shop exclusive, and I could show you how I even know that is because it says it on the back of the package, right here, Star Wars Shop exclusive. It also says it on the bubble here, and it might be harder to make it out, StarWarsShop.com. It comes in this little custom fitting little protective case there. But this guy is a little different than the others, and I'll show you why in a moment. So he comes with a wreath background with this or base here with this little snow in the bottom. And the figure comes in here, and you can see what I love here is the bridge of one of the Star Destroyers with the lights and the candles and all that there. So that's really nice. I think this Vader might have been based on the Revenge of the Sith Vader, or one of them. I want to say the Lava Vader. Maybe I'm wrong. But he's just, the only thing that he's really Christmassy about him or holiday about him is he's just all red. There's nothing special there. He's just a red painted Vader. There's several Vaders in this style, so he's not really unique. The base isn't meant to hold a card this time, but he comes with a card. I like his card. It's Vader building a Stormtrooper snowman. Or I guess it's a snow trooper? No, it's a Stormtrooper. Just a Stormtrooper snowman. This is not based on Macquarie artwork. This is just an original figure. So this is just something different that they decided to do to round out the holiday figures. So he came right after the Jawa set. So this, unfortunately, was the end of holiday figures. So they ended in 2005, right around Revenge of the Sith, right when the movies ended. We stopped getting our holiday figures. So we only got a couple years worth. We got 2002, 2003, 2004, and then 2005, and it stopped. It was gone for 15 years. So we're going to fast forward now. This was the end of the 3 3/4. So in between that period of 2005 and 2020, the Black Series launched in 2013. And then 7 years later, we got holiday figures coming back, but to the Black Series. So let's jump forward to 2020 and check out the return of holiday figures as they arrived in the Black Series line. So it's 2020. We have these Black Series holiday figures now. You can see this very unique packaging. It's still got that window bubble, but we got little snowflakes. And it's kind of looks like a gift box. It has a little to and from here written in the Urbish on the side. And the snowflakes are Stormtrooper helmets going around here. So little fun here. A lot of these, it was kind of like an exclusive jumble here. So this one is from Amazon, the Stormtrooper here. And we'll check him out. Already have all these open. I kind of use them in a display each year. So as I'm getting ready to decorate, I figured I might as well do this segment. So we have your Stormtrooper, and what's different about him is obviously the coloring. so he's not his standard white self. This appears to be the original Stormtrooper mold, the one of the first earlier molds, because he has the holster here on the side. The newer molds, starting with Rogue One and I think it was Rogue One, but by the time we got to the Mandalorian, didn't have this anymore, and that became the new standard in the design, and I think the helmet shifted a little bit. But this guy here, you can see he's wearing this ugly sweater, and the ugly sweater has an AT-AT on there. It has a X-wing in the top firing, so a lot of little fun little details on there, and he's got that color scheme. So what else is different here is he has a little friend. He also, if I get him to stand there, okay, he has a little friend, and it's a porg. It's a little snow porg, it's a little white porg here that he comes with. Each of these guys is going to get a buddy, so just to change it up. And he comes with one of the Praetorian sort of lances here, and this one has like an ice blade on it, just to make things a little bit different. So this is a two-handed weapon for him, not exactly designed to hold this the best, because he's got that trigger figure on the one hand, but you could get it in those hands here by just manipulating them a little bit. And getting it into the side one. I think this one is easier just because the grip is a little wider. But again, wasn't designed to hold these, so it's going to be a little bit trickier to get them in this hand. As you can see me struggle with it. There we go. And you could get it two-hand. I'm not going to do that right now, but this is this figure essentially. He comes with this giant holiday spear, which is ice on it, and he comes with his little porg buddy, the snow porg, and that is all for this guy. And we'll take a look at the next one, and the next one here is the Sith Trooper, and this guy is a Best Buy exclusive. So the Sith Trooper, basically, same packaging. Nothing changes on the packaging. It's consistent through all the figures here. But the Sith Trooper is going to be the Sith Trooper from the Rise of Skywalker. He comes with a little holiday Babu Frick, who kind of looks like an elf. So a little fun there. I think this visor articulates. Yep, the visor still articulates. So it's the same figure as the other Babu Frick. This one just is holiday colors. He comes with this same heavy repeating blaster here. However, it's more kind of nerfed out. So it's the white and the orange here. And then we have our Sith Trooper. So he, instead of being all red, which is a holiday color, but it's not enough, they gave him a couple of paint jobs here. So he's got green and red. And he's got these fun little candy cane socks. And he's got this little scarf. I love the scarf. This is a nice accessory here. The little snowflakes on it. They definitely gave him, kitted him out in holiday gear. So I appreciate that they did that. He essentially has this giant blaster, which is extremely hard to hold. You can manipulate his hand in here, I think, from the side and get him to hold it. But for now, I'm just going to loop that through his arm and not fight with it. But here's another great holiday design for a figure. So these are all kind of existing molds where Hasbro has just recolored the figure, basically. So nothing super special about it, other than this great holiday design. There's no retooling. They did have the scarf. This is newly tooled, but it's the same character that you had before. So after we have our Sith Trooper, we have a Clone Trooper here from GameStop. And the Clone Trooper, as you can see, is a Phase 2 Clone Trooper. And he comes with a bunch of different accessories. So the Clone Troopers were all white. So this Clone Trooper, obviously, is going to be colored in Christmas fashion. He's got nice little striped socks again. These are green and white, and he's wearing the ugly sweater. This was kind of consistent with a lot of the Stormtroopers. He has TIE Fighters and a Death Star 2 there on his sweater, if you could see that. And he's got that great Clone Trooper helmet. I love the tight paint applications here because they have that nice red stripe on the top of the helmet there going over the top, the green visor. So it's really sharp looking. He came with another Porg. This Porg is black and white like a penguin, and he has a little scarf painted onto him as well. So in addition to that, he kind of has this little candy cane Reaper, which was one of the extra weapons that came with the, what was that? The Sith Trooper like mega version, the version that was a Comic-Con exclusive. He came with like a dozen accessories, and I think this was one of them. He came with this like little sickle kind of thing. So this one is painted out candy cane deco, so that just makes it a little bit more Christmassy than the than the other one, or holiday than the other version. So that is this guy, and this was, like I said, GameStop. Next we have the Range Trooper, and this was a Target exclusive in his holiday edition. I love the design of these guys in Solo. They're awesome. The kind of army build a little bit. I think the boots really did it too. Took it over the top. And I thought this was a great choice to make the Santa, because he already had this sort of like Christmassy look to him, where he had this white fur over the top. So I think it was very easy to just paint the jacket, since it had all the frill on it, just to paint the jacket red and keep the existing white parts, so then it looks like a Santa suit. And they just painted the shoes black, and they look like these massive boots. And then, yeah, I think everything just worked on this figure. He's a little bulkier than the other characters. That's what I like about him too, it's the boots that kind of make it. Instead of his rifle, he comes with this little ice sickle kind of thing here. Again, I think this came with the ultimate Sith figure, or Sith Trooper figure. So it was just a little fun attachment there. And he comes with his Theo here, his little reindeer. I mean, he did just give him a new paint job here. And he has his all the same design as the figure that came to this guy. I think this came with Rey in the Rise of Skywalker line. But he has a red nose this time. And that's it. So, again, he still can't stand. He's going to roll forward or backward. But I think this was a nice addition to give Santa and Rudolph. So they paired it very well together. I think this was my favorite out of this line. I mean, he was clearly awesome. He was really well decoed. I kind of think he was the hardest one to get in the line, although Target can have notoriously difficult figures to get. So yeah, that kind of tracks. So the last one we have is a Walmart exclusive, and that is the Snow Trooper. And you would think that makes the most sense for holiday. I mean, the guy who deals with snow, it's only natural. So he came with another Porg. So it's an open wing Porg, and this Porg is just wearing, again, looks like a penguin. He's wearing a green scarf. So not much difference there. The other one was just closed armed. But the Snow Trooper here, I think he looks pretty great. This is, of course, a classic version of the Snow Trooper, not the First Order version of the Snow Trooper. He has a little backpack there. The backpack is green. He has his green and red coloring. He's got his little Santa color stripy socks on. Little black shoes. I mean, they did a really nice job with the deco. I love the red and green theme of these guys. He also comes with a Praetorian Guard spear that has sort of an ice tip to it now, different than the other one. So that is, they're using all these, reusing these weapons and mixing matching characters. So we got some from The Last Jedi, we got some from Rise of Skywalker, and they all kind of match in with these guys. And I thought this was kind of a fun design for the Snow Trooper. It's a nice way to include him in the line. I mean, you have to have the Snow Trooper in a holiday line. It makes sense. So yeah, so we'll get you a nice little roundup shot of all these guys here. Again, really like this Santa one. I thought he was just awesome. Just perfect. I mean, absolutely perfect for this line. It makes the most sense, the design artistically there. And I think it was just clearly one of my favorite here in this line. So this is your whole line, essentially. The first line of these guys only consisted of these 5 figures. You'll see in the subsequent 2 lines, they came with 6. So they upped it. I thought they would keep upping it every year and make it 7, but no, they kept it 6 again. So again, we have Amazon exclusive, Best Buy exclusive, GameStop exclusive, Target exclusive, and Walmart exclusive. These guys were all exclusive. At this point, they weren't shared exclusives. You'll see in the future years, they will be mixed and matched with the other providers. But in this first year, we had nothing but individual exclusives. So you had to track them down from 5 different providers at 5 different times, and they arrived at 5 different times. But they were all here by Christmas, and that's what mattered. So if you wanted to use them as decorations, you got them in time. All right, so for the next wave, a little confusing. They were supposed to be out in 2021, But at that time, you recall, because of COVID, we had a lot of global shipping delays. They were teased all throughout 2021. We thought we were going to get them in 2021, but they actually ended up coming in 2022. Not until later in the year around the holiday. So we all thought they were just not going to do it, but then it did eventually land. So we're going to fast forward a couple years to 2022 and check out the second wave of the Black Series holiday figures. All right, we finally made it to 2022 when the line came back after a little hiatus. We thought it might have been dead. We thought, we don't know what happened to it, but it finally came back. And we were going to start with this amazing Wookiee from GameStop Holiday Edition. I call it the Abominable Snow Wook. I think it was totally a missed opportunity to start giving these things fun names. They just kept it generic, which I'm really disappointed in, but still great to have these back. I mean, if you look at him, he really reminds me of the Abominable Snowman from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, that classic claymation film, because he even has the blue toes and hands. So I think he's just kind of perfect in that respect. So they got this nice harness on him here. And they have your Wookiee, and he came with a little Porg friend, which made sense for Last Jedi, Return of Chewbacca and the Porgs. And he came with a bow, as always, but his bow is a little bit more holiday themed than his other bows. Still frustrating. I just don't like this bow design and how this thing assembles. But yeah, this bow came here with him. And yeah, see, I just never like putting this thing together. So anyway, the bow came with him, and that's kind of standard. He has this little holster ability for you to put it on the back here too. So if you didn't want to hold it, you could put it over there. I think it's better to just put it in his hand. But yeah, I'm not going to fuss with it too much. We're just going to slide it in there like that. So that was basically your Abominable Snow Wook. And I thought he looked really great. I mean, this was my favorite one out of this bunch, just because of the design of him. The color scheme, I think it just looked phenomenal. So this was my favorite one, and this was the GameStop exclusive this time. So moving forward again, now we're going to get into what I said, shared exclusives. So this was a fan channel one. So this wasn't unique to just one provider. This was, when I say fan channel, I mean Entertainment Earth and Big Bad Toy Store. So you could have got this guy from two different places. And this, of course, is the Protocol Droid Holiday Edition. So again, we have a previously released figure, C-3PO here. Probably this Rise of Skywalker mold, which I think it was the same mold as the other ones. He has this scarf on, and I want to say this is the same scarf as the Sith Trooper, just a different color. So we'll check it out there. Yep, it is the same scarf, just a different color. Same snowflake pattern on there. That has, oh no, I'm sorry, it's different. So this one had Sith Trooper helmets on it. This one has Protocol Trooper helmets on it, making up the snowflake pattern. But it's the same mold, essentially. So nothing really new there. You can see his color scheme. It's that red, white, and green. So they're making him a little bit different. And then he came with the little droid here. What is this, BD-1 from Jedi Fallen Order. So yeah. So he has a nice little color scheme as well, to be like a little elf, a droid elf, or whatever you would call him. So that's basically the other character there. So this was different because in the first version of the Black Series Holiday, that first wave, we didn't get any droids other than like a assistant and or a support character. So this time we have the main character was a droid, and he comes with another droid. So double droid on this one. So yeah, so the only real new thing he got was that scarf, and that scarf again was taken from a previous figure. So again, we move forward, and we have another difficult to find one, and this was from Target exclusive, and it's the Mandalorian Warrior, which was basically just the Mandalorian from the Mandalorian. I think that was the design of the figure here. They took some of the additional accessories away from him. Actually, no, I'm sorry, I lied. Or I was wrong, rather. I wasn't trying to lie. I think this Mandalorian is from the Clone Wars figure. That was the Loyalist, because he has the holsters on each side here. Or he could be Jango Fett. So it could be either one of those. It's hard to tell, because he also has the gauntlets here with the flame and the rocket and stuff like that. Which it could be just a mix and match up of several ones, but I want to say it was that Loyalist because of the holsters here. And he has that helmet, no rangefinder on it or anything like that. And the jetpack reminds me of the Loyalist figure as well. So he has that mythosaur symbol and like an ugly sweater with some Mandalorian helmets on there. So a lot going on here. He's got that burgundy coloring on there too, on the bodysuit. I just recall this one was kind of hard to get, and he's pretty cool. So that could explain why. What is this, a Bogan or whatever from Bogano from Jedi Fallen Order. So that guy is here, and he's his little helper, or his little included character. And the only thing he comes with is that Ambin pulse rifle, or whatever kind of rifle that the Mandalorian came with. So that is his little fun accessory to include. And again, it looks very close to the Nerf version of this. So kind of fun. But that is our Mandalorian warrior. Doesn't want to stand for me here. So it was kind of weird that they had the holsters, but they didn't have the guns with him. They decided to give him the big rifle instead of the guns. The rifle that he doesn't want to hold. Yeah. We'll just put it like this. So yeah, that was your Mandalorian here. And I think it was kind of consistent after this. We're going to see more Mandalorians. And I think you really need a Mandalorian. So it's good to have those guys included in the line. So yeah, so there's another fun one. Next, we're going to head over and check out an Amazon exclusive, and that is the First Order Stormtrooper. So we didn't get a First Order Stormtrooper yet. We had a regular Stormtrooper, we had a Clone Trooper, we had a Sith Trooper, we had a Snow Trooper. We didn't get a First Order Stormtrooper. So I think this is modeled after the First Order Heavy Trooper, because he's got this this little bandolier on, but it's a little different because I don't think it came with this pouch. I mean, each one of the little ammo pouches here have little holiday designs, like a package, a Stormtrooper, and the snowflake helmets. This kind of looks like this was probably the Death Trooper harness, and that's the one from the Commando one from that 3-pack. So this is probably what that is, and it's just a little recolored here. He doesn't have a pauldron this time. And he's got all sorts of Christmas coloring on him, you can see with those socks and whatnot. So he comes with the rifle here that came with the First Order Snow Trooper, and it also came with the Amazon version of the First Order the First Order Stormtrooper that had the harness and all the other accessories. And he comes with a mouse droid, and this mouse droid is all decked out in holiday attire with a little ribbon with the different paint schemes here. So it's a nice little accompaniment, and I think that's great. A Stormtrooper and a mouse droid is a good pairing. Makes sense. So kind of keep that consistent theme here. A lot of these make sense. So there is our First Order Stormtrooper. Now we're going to check out the Walmart exclusive for the year, and this was the Scout Trooper. Excuse me. The Scout Trooper here is based on the Mandalorian show. And this one is, I guess, a remnant Scout Trooper. And I say that because I think they took it based on that mold that came with that Amazon exclusive speeder bike in Scout Trooper with this Grogu pouch. And so this is the same pouch from that. It's just colored differently this time. We have it red with white trim. Grogu's head is still in there. And they just kept the green because green works with the color scheme. And then we have the Scout Trooper. So the Scout Trooper is actually wearing a fun little ugly sweater of Grogu on there. So you can see him up here at the top in his hover pram. But other than that, it's just holiday colors. It's the same Scout Trooper, so that all that design in there. The visor is in there. It's nice and green. And his sort of weapon accessory is just his holiday blaster, or I'm sorry, it's his blaster just holiday decked out. And you can see that little orange tip on there. I'll put it in his hand so you can see it because my hands are way too big. Again, this kind of looks like the Nerf version of this gun, which I think is kind of fun. It's not the like a scarier version or more accurate version, screen accurate version. So there we go. So he's got the Nerf version of his gun, keeping it fun for the holidays. not too serious here. But they didn't alternate his accessory, which isn't too inconsistent if you think about it, because if you just look at the First Order Holiday Trooper, they kept his blaster that came with him. And then Chewbacca has his blaster. So this wave started getting a little bit more consistent with the weapons being with the characters they actually came with. And last but not least, we have a shared exclusive again, and this one was shared with Pulse and Disney, the Disney store, or Shop Disney, and it's a Phase 2 Clone Trooper. And yes, we already had a Phase 2 Clone Trooper. We had one in the last line, as you recall. That was a GameStop exclusive. But this one is different. This is the Gingerbread Man Clone Trooper. And this one is another awesome design in this wave, just because they changed the color scheme up a little bit and went with something amazing here. The only other one they changed the color scheme up on was the Abominable Snow Wook, which has that great white color scheme. They get out of the red and green. And so this guy comes with another appropriate accessory. It's just going to be his blaster. And again, it looks like a Nerf version, if they made a Nerf version of it. And he comes with a Santa Porg. I call him Santa Porg because he looks like he's wearing Santa's robe there, and that little red and white sort of deco. So that was really different for the Porgs because they were either wearing sweaters or what do you call them, the scarves and whatnot. But I really like the design on this guy. I mean, he really looks great in this shiny sort of gingerbread man deco. He has these little frosted cufflinks. He's got a bow tie and little gumdrop buttons, and it's just a great design. I think they did an amazing job on him. So why don't we put a whole wave look for you guys. Again, clearly my favorite, the Snow Wook. We'll get that to a minute here, and I'll just put him in the middle. But they had some other really great ones in this line. They had the Mandalorian, which I think was a favorite, or this Mandalorian warrior. They had the Scout Trooper with that Grogu. They had the First Order Stormtrooper here. They had the Abominable Snow Wook, which is awesome. I mean, look at this guy. With his little Porg, and then they had the protocol droid up over here with the Boggin. So they definitely increased in this wave. We got an extra one. They changed up a few things. Like I said, they started having accessories that came with the character, and they just repainted them. So instead of imagining new accessories for most of these guys, they just kept the same accessories. I think the only one different here was this guy, and he's coming with the Mandalorian's rifle instead of his dual blasters. But yeah, they didn't get as inventive with the last series, where you got some of the characters coming with these pikes that came from Praetorian Guards, and they were just turned into ice pikes. So this time around, everyone kind of had for the most part, had their accessories, and it was just painted a different color. So this was the 2022 wave. So let's get into this year with our current wave, and I'll give you guys a look at all the current holiday edition figures. All right, and now for the difficult part of the segment. I have not opened any of these yet. These are all brand new. I got them. I've been saving them up to decorate. So here we go. We're going to start out with the Hasbro Pulse Ewok. We have not had an Ewok in the line yet, so this is a brand new holiday figure. This is not just another version of an existing holiday figure. So let's check this one out together. I roughly know what they are, but I really haven't had a chance to look too closely at these. So what we got here is we have another Snow Porg. We've had a couple of Snow Porgs in the past, so this is just another version of that Snow Porg. Here is the Snow Porg from several years ago, and it's just a slightly different shade of white. It's not as shiny as this Snow Porg, but this is one of the first Snow Porgs we had in the 2020 wave. So it comes with a little Snow Porg, and then we have our Ewok here, and I think this Ewok is based on Paplu. So we have he has a little holiday knife that doesn't come off his belt. He has a green cloak with some little, I want to say, some garland or something in there. So very holiday looking. And then he has that color scheme of that amazing Abominable Snow Wook. So he's the Abominable Snow Ewok. But yeah, I mean, that is basically the figure you get in there. And he has his little stick here that I think was Paplu stick. So that is kind of consistent again, like we saw in the 2022 wave. So these are wave appropriate accessories or figure appropriate accessories. There's nothing different here. They're not giving him someone else's accessory and then holiday buying it or whatever. He comes with this additional accessory here. And it's like a little Christmas chest. It's got this nice gold leaf on it, and it's got this nice red. And I think this kind of reminds me of the Maz Kanata box that had the lightsaber in it. Let's check out what's inside. And we got, yeah, really think it is that Maz Kanata chest, because it's got random trinkets in here. They're just painted green this time. So that's his extra little keepsake that comes with him there. So that is our holiday Ewok. Not a bad start in this line. Gave us a new figure, basically. And next up, we're going to look at our Amazon exclusive. And the Amazon exclusive this year was the Mando Scout. So another Mandalorian making his way back. We'll check out this one here. Now, this is the first time we've seen a holiday figure in a different scheme. You notice the boxes are pretty much the same as the previous boxes what we looked at in the 2022. But it's a little bit more character specific this time. So I showed you those 2020 boxes. But what we started seeing with the 2022 boxes, if you didn't see that when I opened the packaging, is the snowflakes started being more consistent with the characters. So we had like Scout Trooper, we had Mando Trooper, and they had all those different consistencies there. And maybe I'm wrong, maybe that was something that was consistent all along, and I just missed it there. So maybe that's the case. But anyway, you can see the Ewok heads on here. This one has the Mandalorian heads on as the snowflake. So what is different about this blue scheme is you see you have red ribbon on every figure except for this one. He has this blue scheme. I want to call this like the Hanukkah color scheme. We haven't really seen this before, so this is a little different. So he's got this blue and white coloring. So he's kind of like the Hanukkah trooper, essentially. So they're holiday. It's holiday edition. It doesn't have to all be Christmas sort of coloring, so they can mix it up a little bit. So this guy has a backpack that is in the package separately from the figure here. So a little bit different than the previous Mandalorian trooper we've seen. And again, this guy gets his backpack here. And I want to say this is maybe based on some of the ones from the new Mandalorian waves that came out based on the third season figures. He's got that rangefinder on there. Was this maybe the Mandalorian, what was he called? The Fleet Commander or something like that? Because he does have a little Mandalorian blaster. He does have his holster in the back there. And this will fit in his hand here. And this is, again, kind of consistent to the waves having the weapons that go with the figures. And he comes with another Babu Frick. And this Babu Frick is blue and gold, as opposed to the last one we saw was, I believe, green and red. So this one is kind of on par with the color scheme here. Packaging a little different because this one has the backpack or the jetpack in the back here. But yeah, this one was just a completely different color scheme from what we've seen before. They changed sort of the color aesthetic and added a blue and white paint scheme to a holiday figure. So a little bit different than we've seen with the other ones, but nothing wrong with that. It's just a little change they made to the color scheme that we've seen in the past. So now we have this guy here. Our next one up is another shared exclusive, and this is the Purge Trooper. This Purge Trooper was available on both Pulse and the fan channels, and this is our Nutcracker Purge Trooper. So I really love the aesthetic on this guy. It's fun, it's something different. It's not just a green and red scheme or blue and white scheme, like how they deviated in the last wave with the Abominable Snow Whoop, and they deviated with the Gingerbread Trooper. We now have this Purge Trooper, and looking like a Nutcracker. So more Christmas characters, and I think these are the better ones when they get more Christmas character looking than just generic holiday colors, like the Santa with that Range Trooper. But here we go. We have a little kind of fun-colored mouse droid that comes with him. This is his little friend. And then we have this awesome Purge Trooper. So I think this might be... I don't think this is the Phase 2 Purge Trooper. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is based on that Phase 1 Purge Trooper from Fallen Order. I could be wrong. So, I mean, let me know if this is different. But he had a cloth skirt, as I recall, too. That guy was hard to get initially. I I don't know, it depended. Like you had to buy them with the game. Like he came with the game. I know some GameStops were selling them separately, but it was listed separately, but I don't think it was for a while or what. Like every copy of the game you bought essentially came with one of these guys. So that was the only way to get it, was he was like the bonus included character. So kind of hard to get this one. Maybe they're doing an archive version of him and re-release him for people who didn't get him. But he comes with his long blaster. If you remember in the game, this was the guy that was the one that shot at you. He didn't have any sticks or clubs or hammers or anything like that. He just had this blaster. But I really like the deco on this one. He's got that great red overcoat like the Nutcracker, and then the black and gold offsets here, that blue visor. They did a great job on this one. The high boots with the paint, I mean, everything looks great. He's very Nutcracker-esque. I absolutely love this design to him. He has this little mouse droid, but I mean, clearly this is one of the best ones in this line. Not my favorite. I'll show you my favorite in a minute, but he is really well done. And I think when they deviate and they do things like a Santa or something and get past just the red and the green color scheme, they make for the best ones in the lines. You get something unique, like if you go after a holiday character like a Nutcracker. So yeah, definitely awesome job on this one. He's really fun. I like how he looks. I don't like how he poses, but probably just need to work in those joints. So a little bit different than we saw with the other ones, but again, that doesn't mean anything is off about it. It's just, I think it just makes it a little bit more creative and fun, deviating from that standard just holiday coloring. So there's that guy. Next up, we have another shared exclusive. This is the Pulse and Fan Channels Jawa. And the Jawa was the first time in addition to the Black Series line, but not a first-time holiday figure. Of course, I showed you those great Jawas from 2004, but now we got the Jawa in the holiday line. So we have a nice, or I'm sorry, in the Black Series line. So we have a nice 6-inch Jawa holiday. So he came with a Salacious Crumb, which is great for a little, I guess they're trying to make him like a, I don't know, an elf or something here with this paint scheme. Oh, he is in there good. Let's see. This is a trick. There's got to be a way of getting this guy out. We're learning this together. They angled him in here somehow, and he's pressure fitted in, and he's got the tail. Yeah, this guy was a trick to get out of there. But basically, he's supposed to be some kind of holiday elf. I guess I want to say he's a holiday gremlin. Gremlins was a holiday movie, so it's appropriate. Yeah, I mean, the other fun thing about this is he kind of looks like one of those Dulocs from the Ewok series. I think those things were called Dulocs. Maybe I'm getting that wrong, but yeah, they are. He definitely looks like one of those guys too from the cartoon series there. Yeah, and then we have our Jawa. So again, he comes with that ion blaster that was attached to him, so he kind of has to. It was part of the figure mold there, so he's got that there. But he's got this great Santa coloring too. I mean, he's wearing the Santa robes. He's got the black face. The eye still. He's still the Jawa character underneath, but he has the Santa robes this time. So that's kind of fun. They get the bandolier the same color too. So the face is still black. His hands are still black. His eyes are still yellow. The bandolier is still the same color, but the robe is completely recolored as a Santa sort of coloring. And again, the blaster is what I imagine it would look like if there was a Nerf version of a Jawa blaster out there. So that's kind of fun. We saw that with the second wave, and they sort of continued that here. Except with the Nutcracker gun, you didn't get that. You got a sort of a gold and white sort of design. Let me see if I can grab one of these Dulocs I have back here, and you can see what I mean. This is the Shaman. Probably not the best one, but you can see what I mean when I'm talking about the design here. And here I get the Scout one here. This might be a little bit better. Oh, no, maybe not. Pretty close. Maybe, I don't know. The green is a little close, similar to that, but you see what I mean. He kind of looks like these old ones, which is kind of interesting. no, maybe we'll see those return. I know they did a Wicket and they did a Nisa, but I don't know. Maybe we'll see them come back to do a lot of things there. All right, so this next one is the Target exclusive, and this is my favorite of the line, and this is the Snow Trooper. Now, I think they wasted an opportunity again here, they being Hasbro, of not calling this the Snowman Trooper. Because that's basically what he is. He's a snowman. And it would have been an easy name swap in there. Just make it a little bit more fun. So our Snowman Trooper, his little accessory here is the Death Star Torture Droid. But it's fun now because it's a holiday sort of color scheme. It looks like it's a snowball, basically. So the Snowman Trooper also comes with this base for the little ball here. So we'll put that on there. I can never do these things. Yeah, you gotta kind of wedge it in there a little bit. So we'll check this guy out. He doesn't come with any weapon this time because he came with, you know, this probe droid or the torture droid. He does come with a backpack. Again, just like the Snow Trooper does. And if we're do a quick check as our first Snow Trooper from 2020, the color scheme's a little different. He's got the red stripe on the bottom on the backpack there, and the backpack itself is a little bit different in color. But the real gem of this guy is the face. I mean, you can see that carrot nose, so they have painted off to the side, the little mouth that looks like a made out of coal, the top hat, of course. They have him wearing a scarf, or it's just painted on there. They have him in his white deco, and they have these little sort of boots on him. But I think it's kind of fun that this guy looks like a snowman. And this is just an amazing design for the Snow Trooper. So clearly my favorite out of the line. Like I said, they deviated from just holiday color scheme, and they gave him coloring. And look at this. I missed it. There is a weapon. It's in the back of the box. It's in its own little container. It's separated from everybody here. So look at that little surprise. Like I said, I have not opened these. We are discovering all this together. So this is me learning what else is in this sort of set. And we have this little pulse rifle. This is not included with the Snow Trooper. You know what? It might have been. I think it was. It was that extra rifle that they included with the figures. So they gave him came with the Stormtroopers as well. So they gave him the standard E11, and then they gave him this additional rifle in there. So I think this is that sniper rifle or whatever that was included with him. That started becoming popular in the Battlefront video games because it came with the Scout Trooper. So yeah, he comes with that rifle. And again, this is sort of what I would imagine the Nerf version of this rifle to look like if there was such a thing as the Nerf version of it. But this one is my favorite of the set just because I love the Frosty the Snowman Trooper here. And again, they went with a character. They didn't go with a color scheme. And I absolutely love that design choice there. So we'll put him off to the side. We have our last one. This is going to be from Walmart. And this was the last one we all acquired. It finally came out. And that's the KX Security Droid. Not sure why this one was kind of delayed. Everything else kind of went up for pre-order at the same time, except for this guy. For some reason, they just really waited until, I guess he was ready to ship before they started taking orders on him. And this is just the KX Security Droid from Rogue One. And then, you know, made reappearances in with the Fallen Order figures. So they redecked him out again. And this comes with another BD1 holiday edition. This version of BD1 a little bit different. I think the other one was green and red. This one is white and blue, kind of like the Ewok, kind of like the Wookiee. So we got him there. And then we have our security droid. And his accessory is that, oh, I don't remember the name of it. It's the, someone could tell me, that special little blaster here that became popular in Rogue One that we actually saw him use in the movie. And he didn't come with it and when it was a single figure, but it comes with his holiday version. So we get that imposing KX security droid here. and he has a nice little color scheme on him. He has the snowflakes on the side with his head on him to make that consistent as the pattern there. You can see he's still got that very tall, slender look to it. He's got more little holiday call-outs here. I love the green accents on the side here, and he's all white with that little gold sort of mouthpiece on it and those green eyes. And yeah, that's another different one. It's our droid that made it back into the line. There were no droid main characters in the first one. It was all troopers. And then we get to the second wave of figures, and we got a Wookiee, and we got one droid, and the rest were troopers. And now we're in the third wave of characters, and we got a mix of different characters here. So we have a droid. We have our first different color scheme here from the classic green and red. We have this absolutely amazing snowman trooper. We have a creature, or an alien, an organic life form, essentially, with this Ewok, coming with that little snow porg, and coming with a little chest. They gave you a little bit more with this guy because he was tiny. We have our Jawa here, who came with the elf sort of Salacious Crumb. And then we had that mouse droid that came with the Nutcracker Purge Trooper. So a little bit different. Again, we got some troopers, we got a Mandalorian, we got a droid, and we got two organic beings this time with the Jawa and the Ewok. So a more diverse wave, two of each, or not really two of each, but two different sort of sets of things. Organic waves, troopers, and then a mixture of droids and a Mandalorian. So the waves are definitely getting more diverse in terms of the kinds of characters they're taking in. In that first wave, it was all troopers, like I said, and then we got one droid in the second wave and one sort of alien character, and now we're getting more alien characters, another droid, Mandalorian, and two troopers, so just a lot more diversity in sort of the character styles we're getting in there. Who knows, maybe we'll get a human character in the next wave if they do one in 2024 and have him decked out in colors. A lot of possibilities there. Maybe they put a beard on somebody. So that is your look at the most recent wave. These are available right now, so you can get them, as we were saying, from various suppliers. So it's Pulse and Fan Channels. This was Pulse. This one over here was Target. Then we have the Purge Trooper that was Pulse and Fan Channels. We have the Amazon Mandalorian Scout. This one was actually tough to get. He sold out, but then they did get him back in stock. And then we have the KX Security Droid from Walmart. This guy I've seen on the shelf right now at Target, so you can pick him up. None of these were impossible to get, but I do recall it was frustrating because the Amazon one sold out in pre-orders. Again, anything Mandalorian design seems to be super popular and they'll sell out pretty quick. But yeah, this wave is available right now and you should be able to acquire him along with everybody else. Well, that is a wrap on this segment, and that is a wrap for 2023 for Rebel Scum Rewind. We did 12, we did one every month. I'm going to try to keep that up for 2024. So yeah, definitely happy holidays from all of us here. I don't mean all of us, the figures, I mean all of us here at Rebel Scum. Hope you're having a great holiday season. I hope you enjoyed this fun little look at previous figures throughout the years and the holiday editions, all the way back to 2002 with this great set and this wonderful Macquarie style artwork concept for holidays. I wish Hasbro would bring that back, give us some of this in the 6-inch line, because these were just really fun. This great little design here. They did do some Macquarie concept figures with that Vader and Obi-Wan. So maybe they're bringing some more back and they could do holiday ones. The Yoda, I said, has made multiple reappearances in bobblehead form and jumbo form. That Yoda Santa has been really popular. So hopefully we'll get some more of these characters in the future. Maybe 2024 we'll see Yoda Santa make it back into the line. Maybe this R2-D2 with the antlers. Who knows? I mean, they had some great designs that we haven't seen come back yet. Although there have been some really great favorites here within these Black Series lines. I mean, we had this Great Range Trooper Santa Claus, we had this Abominable Snow Wookiee and this Gingerbread Clone Trooper, we had the Snowman Trooper, we had the Nutcracker Purge Trooper. I mean, they brought some classic characters from Christmas here, but there's definitely more room to grow. We need a Boba Fett, a holiday Boba Fett. How do we not have a holiday edition Boba Fett? We have like 1,000 Boba Fett figures, and we don't have a holiday edition Boba Fett. I mean, his new armor, the armor from the Book of Boba Fett and the end of Mandalorian Season 2, is pretty much Christmas colors. It's red and green, so it's like just about there. So they could definitely tease that out. I mean, it's got really sharp red and green colors on it, not like faded like the original one. So I think it's a clear, character to turn into a holiday edition, especially with his little skirt, and it gives you, or his comma or whatever you want to call it, gives him a little more room to put further designs on it. So we'll see. Holiday Sand Trooper would be really fun. You could do so much with that because he's wearing the robes. We need a holiday Darth Vader. I mean, not just a red Darth Vader, but like a holiday Darth Vader. So there's a lot you can do with that. With his costume too, and there's so many different versions out there of that. But yeah, I think anything with capes, anything with more fabric on it are easy to do. Holiday colors and make it fun and dress it up. Maybe we just get a whole line of holiday bounty hunters. It would be perfect as well too. Just do the whole wave of them in little bounty hunter designs and little holiday designs for those guys. So there's a lot more to go with this series. So I hope Hasbro continues it. I hope we get the Halloween characters back. We only got 2. I mean, we definitely need more. But I hope they continue this series and sort of make this a tradition, if not every year, every other year at least, and bring it back with some more characters. But definitely a good year. I mean, they had more in this year than they had in the previous. They had a Santa, they had a Nutcracker, and a Snowman. We didn't really, Snowman. We didn't really get that as much in previous ways. When we got 2 characters here, we got just the 1 here. So one holiday character, 2 holiday characters, 3 holiday characters, maybe 4 holiday characters next year. I don't know. It seems to be a pattern there. I don't know if it's intentional, but it's definitely fun. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this look. As always, I like seeing your suggestions on what we should try to do next. I can't do everything. I know I've seen the most requested thing was role-playing accessories. That's really hard to do. I don't like doing slideshows where I just show you guys slides. The only reason I do that is because I just can't get everything. It's super expensive, or we just don't have it on the team here. So I can't do weapons from the Kenner line, the role-play accessories. Too expensive to get those. The ones from the 90s, again, they're just everywhere, hard to track down. And then there was pretty much stuff every year since then. I mean, there's a lot of other accessories out there. And then there's a ton in the Black Series. There's all the helmets, there's all the lightsabers, and then there's the Force Effects Elite, and then there's like Nerf blasters that are really closely mimicking weapons like Boba Fett's gun, and then the Ambin rifle from Mandalorian. There's too much stuff. I just can't track it all down. It's not going to be fun for me just to show you guys a bunch of slides. You could go out there and look at different people's archives if you wanted to see that. Someone suggested Cloud City. I would love to do that, but there's only really like 3 play sets. There's the Kenner one, there's the Power of the Jedi one, and then there's the modern one. So not a ton of fun there just to do 3 play sets. Yeah, I want to do a little bit more to it. Also, I don't have my Power of the Jedi set anymore, which I really regret giving that one up. That was probably the best one. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm open to other suggestions. I could try different things. I have other ideas, but I'd like to see what you guys are interested in seeing as well. So we could try to provide you guys with a look back at some things. But we'll come up with some creative concepts for 2024. But I thought this was a nice way to close the year. Keep it holidays, keep it light. There's a lot out there. I mean, as you can see here. So just kind of fun to explore these. So that is all for this time. As always, like, subscribe, and follow. We always have something new on rebelscum.com. Check out our holiday gift guide if you haven't picked up a gift yet for ideas on Star Wars specific items that are out there. And if you were on the fence about them, we have reviews in that guide so you could get a hands-on look at what these things are and what their attributes, and try to envision if it would be a perfect fit for you. So that is all for this time and for this year. So as always, stay vigilant, you Rebel Scum.